This is Dan Ferrisi, Group Director of Content and Editorial, Industrial and Tech at Emerald, here working once again in close partnership with the HDBaseT Alliance at InfoComm 2026, doing thought leadership interviews and panel discussions with top suppliers in the industry, talking about some of the most important topics and categories and verticals in our industry today. Thank you so much, Josh Kim. Thank you so much, Steve Bogart, for joining me. Really appreciate it, and your insights on the topic we're going to cover, which is the education vertical, and in particular, end-to-end HDBaseT solutions in the education vertical.
Great, thanks for having us.
So why don't we get into it? I guess we'll kind of back into it a little bit. I'd like to talk about the education vertical broadly, and then we'll go more narrow from there. What are the trends that you are seeing at WyreStorm, at Atlona, obviously very strong in the education space, both companies. What are the trends that you're seeing? What is the market demanding? What is the temperature out there, so to speak? And then we'll go into HDBaseT and we'll go into your own solutions from there.
I think one of the big things that we see is that people want a simple solution. They want a one cable solution for that matter. And I think they want something that doesn't really go into their existing network. There's a lot of devices that are requiring a lot of bandwidth, and it seems that a lot of schools are now saying, hey, we don't actually want any of these devices to be on the network, and so they're looking for more point-to-point HDBaseT solutions.
Steve?
You know, really it's the biggest opportunity and the biggest challenge in education, and it's AI, right? There's a lot of fear, and but an incredible opportunity. It's here to stay, and you're either going to learn to work with it, work with the tools that are out there in AV with AI, or you're going to fall behind.
So when I think about HDBaseT, some of the words that come to my mind are stable, reliable, long distance, no compression. Those are kind of the fundamental benefits that I immediately think of. How do those translate to education? Why is end-to-end HDBaseT a compelling proposition in education settings?
I think for a lot of our end users, a lot of our education end users, their customers, their end users want a really, really simple solution. They want a one cable, they just want to hook up their laptop to one USB cable, and they just want that to work. And I think that HDBaseT, the point-to-point, gives them all of that, and then not only that, but the install process, because you can provide power to the endpoints, and you can provide all through a category cable, which makes it simple, super simple to maintain, super simple to install, and it's just really predictable.
Steve?
Yeah, and it's also budget friendly, right? You're not dealing with the cost of putting something on the network or going to IT and saying, yeah, I'm going to put this gig traffic on your network. You're okay with that, right? AV and IT is converging. We're not fully there yet. There's benefit to being on the network, but there's also, like we were just discussing, a lot of benefit to not being on the network and being on a dedicated cable.
So obviously we asked Atlona, we asked WyreStorm, not just by chance, but because you are so strong in this category, in the education vertical. Talking about end-to-end HDBaseT, as we've just been discussing, what is Atlona doing, for example? We'll move to WyreStorm after that, to really lean into that strength, lean into that stability, that reliability, that predictability, that ease. What are you doing solutions-wise to lean into that?
Yeah, so we've been very well known in the Omega line from Atlona for signal extension. And that entire line is currently in transition, going to the VS3000 chip from Valens, which will give us that true USB 2 transport and the 4K 60 444. And you'll start to see products this year coming out on that platform.
Joshua?
Yeah, same with us. I think we're trying to provide solutions that really the end users want. If their solution is for a simple room, we have whether it's an in-wall or whether it is a transmitter and receiver, or whether it's an all-in-one. So we have our MX1007 hybrid, which incorporates HDBaseT, incorporates our AV over IP in case they want to do a spillover and in case they want to do some sort of matrixing as well. So I think really it's what the market dictates and what the market wants. We're going to provide, with the latest chip technology, to provide that bandwidth, to provide, what the end users really want.
And as you say, I mean, it's what the market dictates, and particularly in the education vertical, it seems to be what does the end user want? Whether it's the IT department or the technology department or whatever it is, we're seeing a lot of HETMA badges these days, so those higher education technology managers definitely have a vision of what they want on their estate. They seem very empowered these days, and it seems like they're providing a lot of directional guidance to the integrator channel. If the school is working with an integrator, this is what we want, this is our ecosystem, this is what we envision. And it sounds like that HDBaseT solution, end to end, is a pretty compelling proposition for a lot of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, certainly budget friendly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much, Josh, for joining me today. Really appreciate your thought leadership and your continued contributions to our understanding of the education vertical.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
My name is Dan Ferrisi, Group Director of Content and Editorial, Industrial and Tech at Emerald, working in close partnership with our friends at the HDBaseT Alliance here at InfoComm 2026, where we're doing thought leadership interviews and panel discussions with our industry's leading suppliers like Atlona and WyreStorm.